China, of course, retaliating with tariffs of their own. Once again, let's get back to Eunice Yoon in Beijing. Hi again, Eunice.
Hey, Carl. Well, China hit back hard. The most sweeping of the countermeasures is the counter tariff. This is an additional 34% tariff on all American goods, which means that on average, the tariff for U.S. products is going to be around 50%. So that tariff is going to go into effect starting April 10th. To target agriculture, which is a key base of President Trump, the Chinese have suspended imports of 5 agricultural firms. The Chinese allege that these American products failed safety and health inspection. So the companies targeted export sorghum, chicken, and chicken bone meal. Another company that's been accused of breaching Chinese regulations is DuPont. DuPont, according to the market regulator, is now under an investigation for allegedly violating the country's anti-monopoly law. The government here is also targeting exporters of certain medical devices, of CT tubes, they said, in an anti-dumping probe. China expanded its export controls as well for other rare earth metals, some of them that are very important for the use of medical equipment, such as MRIs. And then finally, the Chinese government has added 27 companies onto their blacklist, an unreliable entities list, as well as an export control list. Most of them are in defense. It's largely symbolic, I would say, because these companies have been targeted before, for some of them, for the work that they do with Taiwan, which, of course, is an island that the Chinese claim as their own. Guys?
How hurt is China going to be from all of this? I mean, trade exports, that represents a much bigger part of their economy than it does the U.S.
Absolutely. I mean, they're going to, and the effective or average tariff rate on China is north of 70% if this goes into effect on the weekend. I mean, it's really, really big. There's a lot of concern about it, not only when you talk to exporters, but also you could tell from the way that the government has been signaling that they're really worried about the impact on the Chinese economy. Citigroup actually said that this could take 2.4% off of the GDP growth here in 2025. And the Chinese government already has been taking steps to try to stabilize the economy, talking about shoring up and prioritizing consumption, for example. That's something that they've been wanting to do, in addition to diversifying their markets.
Finally, earlier in the week, Eunice, some Chinese state media had reported that a response would come jointly between China, Japan, and South Korea. That hasn't happened as far as I've seen.
No, and you know that was actually coming from a social media account that is linked with CCTV that tends to, it's anonymous, and it tends to message what the Chinese government is thinking, and that's what happened during President Trump's first term. But it looks as though it's mainly coming from the Chinese side, that they hope that there could be some coordinated effort and response between the Chinese, the Japanese, and the Koreans. But since there is a lot of deep-seated suspicion among all 3 countries, but mainly with the Japanese and the Koreans towards the Chinese, I think at this point it's just wishful thinking.
I mean, all those American companies that sell to China getting whacked today. I mentioned Estee Lauder, Nike's down sharply again. I mean, Disney's exposed. So many have looked to China and their consumer as part of the growth story. Eunice, thank you very much for the update from Beijing tonight.